Um, I don't expect you to kind of answer this the way that completely honest, I guess, but do you feel like you're being overlooked a little bit? I mean, you're playing at an extremely high level, and yet there's some talk about you, but probably not the way that there could be. I mean, do you care about that? I mean, what's your feeling about how you're playing and the kind of attention you're getting?
Well, firstly, thank you for saying that I'm playing at a high level. It's very humbling for you to say. Um, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I mean, all that matters is I'm playing for my teammates and I'm playing for this university. I'm playing for Ohio State. So we always talked about stuff like I think we talked about that at the beginning of the season, that as long as we're all playing well and as long as we're all doing our business, everyone will get theirs at the end, and whatever that may be in terms of like recognition and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, as long as I'm helping my teammates win and I'm helping the team win and I'm helping the O-line as best as I can, that's all I can really think about and that's all I can really care about. So it's great to get recognition and accolades, but I kind of see that more as, okay, that means our team's doing well. Whenever any of our teammates getting accolades or anyone like Travion or CJ, they're getting talked about and they're getting news and things about that. That what that means to me is that the wide receivers are playing well, the tight ends are playing well, the O-line's playing well, we're blocking for them well. Whatever accolades other people get, it kind of signifies that, we're doing something right.
Your switch to left tackle, are you glad that happened now? Because first of all, it shows flexibility, versatility, but just what do you think of that move, and how do you think you responded to it?
I'm happy about the move because first and foremost, it helped the team. I think we became a better team when I was switched from right tackle to left tackle. I think that opened up more possibilities with the offensive line, and it kind of changed our offense a little bit because now we had a different type of way that we thought about our offensive line and how certain guys are better at certain things than others. So that's the first thing I would say about that. But then also with the switch to left tackle, I was happy that I got a chance for me to show my versatility and being able to play right and left. That's something that a lot of people like to try to look for at the next level and things like that, to see if you're versatile and you can play both sides. Hopefully I'm proving that I can, and I'm going to keep improving every single week. I'm not perfect yet, but every single week I'm going to keep going out to practice, trying to improve and trying to get better.
Second row right, Austin Ward, Letterman row.
I mean, isn't it a good thing that people aren't noticing you?
Yeah, that's usually the thing, like with O-linemen. Like if no one's talking about you, that means you're doing something right, because usually if you are being talked about, that means like, oh, he missed a block, or oh, he really got beat off the edge on that one. So it's kind of a give and take. Like if I'm not hearing a lot about me, that could mean that, like, I'm just doing such a good job that I'm not really showing any signs of me not playing well or things like that. But the way that I look at it is just as long as I hear the team's doing well and I hear other guys around me are doing well and a lot of skilled guys are doing well and my offensive line teammates are doing well, that means we're doing well.
When you guys watched Saturday night, did you think that was one of the better performances for the whole unit, or where do you still see that this group could get better?
For the offensive line unit?
Yeah.
For the offensive line unit, I think that was one of our better performances. We could still improve. There's still some blitzes and there's still some schemes that we can improve on, that we're going to make sure that we improve on this week, especially with Penn State coming to the shoe. That's an amazing team. They're a very talented team. That's going to be a big game for us. So there's still more things that we can improve on, but I think we're really coming together as a unit in terms of us as an offensive line unit, and that's one of our main missions as we've been going on throughout this season, is become 9 strong, so that every single unit on our team, we all become 9 strong in one unit together.
We'll go fourth row middle, Pat Murphy, 24/7 Sports.
Nick, you've played in night games home and away, and I know obviously having a home crowd and the Scarlet out and all that will fire you guys up, but how does that maybe affect a visiting team? Can they take positives from that rallying around being on the road in a big night game like this? How do you see that maybe affecting Penn State?
Well, I can say just on our end about how we've handled night games is that a lot of times with night games, there's a lot of energy and a lot of juice because it's a night game. Everyone want to come and go see their home team play, especially at night. It's like a premier marquee event. So in a good sense, it's a lot of energy. There's a lot of juice and there's a lot of emotion. So I think both teams, whether you're a home team or an away team, are going to come out hot. They're going to come out fiery, and they're going to come out aggressive and wanting to make big plays. And every single time that someone would make a play, they're all going to get ramped up and rambunctious and things like that. So that's kind of a positive. But then also the negative is that with a home crowd, especially like the best damn fans in the lane here, it gets loud. Like this stadium can get so loud, especially at a night game. And sometimes it's hard for offenses to hear. We've had to deal with night game situations where it was loud for us at first in the first and second quarter, and luckily we've been able to play pretty well in our away games, that we were able to neutralize that home crowd, the home crowd's loudness around like the second half, so that we were able for us to listen more and listen to the cadence. But that's always still are two things that usually happen with night games. Like you get the amped up part of it, but then you also get the loudness that you got to handle and deal with.
Second row left, Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Nick, this is Nicholas, more about the switch. I mean, was that switch from the right side to the left side as easy as maybe you made it look over these last couple of weeks, or was there a bit of a process that you had to go through?
It was very hard. I'm not gonna lie. During camp, when I first started, I mean, everyone has growing pains whenever they switch to new positions. But you always try to overthink things, or you always want to do better than you can even imagine. Like I came into the mindset of like, look, I gotta do this. I gotta switch this position. I gotta be almost seamless and flawless, and I can't have any like setbacks. But there were setbacks in camp. There were like an adjustment period that I had to take into account. I had to learn, and I think I talked about that before, that it was kind of like when I was going back into my freshman and sophomore year where there were still growing pains. I still had to learn. I still had to adjust. Only thing I could say is I think I adjusted quicker. I think I felt more comfortable as I went through fall camp, and then I went through the first and second game. I appreciate you thinking that it's been looking easy. Offensive line is not easy at all. It's always one of the hardest positions in football, but it's just all the help that I got from Coach Stud and from my teammates and all the support I've had really has been good for me to make this transition and this switch.
You know you're protecting the blind side of a young quarterback who's never done anything. Do you press a little bit to try to get that development going a little bit quicker than maybe not really trying to go through the process at all?
I press to make sure that whoever's behind me, I protect them. That's the number one and most and foremost thing. Whether it was Justin last year, whether it was CJ this year, whoever's behind me at quarterback, that's the number one thing that I'm pressing about, is that I need to protect this guy with everything I can, every single play I can.
What was harder, switching from right side to left side, or trying to put on weight your first couple of years?
I'll say putting on weight, but I didn't think anything would be as hard as putting on weight, but me switching actually was pretty close.
Over to the right, Bill Landis, The Athletic.
Nick, when you guys played Penn State last year, I think a lot of us were kind of curious how the matchup between Jason Oweh and Shaka Toney would have gone with you and Thayer, and then it seemed like it went pretty well for you guys. I don't think those guys really did much of anything. How much of a confidence booster was that for maybe you in particular, going against two guys who were NFL defensive ends and playing pretty well in that game?
It was great tape. Is a real big confidence boost, especially when I think that was like the second game of the season last year. So that was a big game for me, just having my first game playing offensive tackle and being a starter. Coming up to the next one, I had two great defensive ends I had to go up against. Both of them are amazing players. They're doing well in the NFL right now. And it was just a great opportunity for me to get some good tape and some good film against some great guys. And it's the Big Ten. Almost every single week we're always going to go up against some type of defense or some type of defensive end or linebacker that's probably one of the best in the country that's showing up and showing out every single week.
What stands out about the guy they have now, Ebiketie, number 17? I think he's got five or six sacks this year. What have you seen from him on film?
He's a real tall guy, real lanky, but he has a great pass rush. He's really good with bull and stuff like that. We've been watching film on him. He's one of their better rushers on the team. I think both their DNs are really good at pass rushing and stuff like that. So they're another great matchup, another great week for us to prove ourselves, for us to try to go out there and play up against great opponents.
Do you go back and watch his Temple film, or you just watch everything he's done this year with Penn State?
We watch both. We usually try to watch the most recent games because that's usually the best indication of how they are and how they're playing at the moment. But we try to watch as much film as we can, and if we can go and find that type of film, we go and find it, and then we watch it, or whatever film that we need to watch that shows us any type of indication on what their tendencies are. Or if there's anything that we can pick up on, we'll try to do whatever we can.
Go over here to the far right, Tony German, Buckeye Scoop.
Nicholas, this being your fourth year, are you viewing this as your last year?
I'm not necessarily viewing it as my last year. What I'm viewing it as, this is another year playing for the Buckeyes. Another great year, another great chapter, and what I kind of want to call my story here, my progression and my time here. So whatever that chapter is, whether it's the last one or not, all I know is that I got another game coming up. You only get so many chances, especially so many chances to play home games in front of an amazing crowd like this in Buckeye Nation. So the only thing I'm worried about is just trying to play my best for them.
And then the standard at left tackle right now, are you trying to be better than you were As a right tackle, are you trying to be better than Thayer Munford was last year?
I mean, what I could tell you is that the standard that Thayer Munford left at left tackle is probably is going to be looked upon from Ohio State history as probably one of the best standards at left tackle, in my opinion. Not only did he play that position well in terms of just on the field, and you just see how he played, but also the leadership aspect of it that maybe not a lot of people see behind the scenes, or some of the things that he did as a leader in terms of bringing up younger guys. So if I had to pick one, I would pick Thayer's Munford and trying to be better than that, but not only in just terms of being on the field better, but also just how he was as a leader and how he was able to bring along guys with him.
Guys, we got to be out here by 2 o'clock. I only have time for 2 more. We'll go third row right, Tim May, Letterman row.
Nicholas, it is what you go by, right?
Yeah, either one.
Yeah, I know, man. St. Nicholas, bring me something good. The chemistry you have right now with Thayer Munford in that line and stuff, did that develop as the year went on? I mean, obviously you guys playing next to each other, and how well are y'all playing together? If you follow me, we watched you guys pick up a stunt a couple of weeks ago, a twist, and like you're just rolling out of bed or something, stuff. But when did that really start to click for you guys?
It's been clicking for a little while. I would say that fall camp was really where we kind of started merging together and kind of figuring each other out and understanding how each of us like certain things and like what our timings are on different things. Like I could tell you that there is a difference when you play with someone new. Like there is a different timing with Wyatt than there was with Thayer. And there was different things that Thayer did that Wyatt didn't do, and there was different ways that we communicate, or we're like, hey, I'm better at doing this and I'm at doing that, so you need to help me in this, or I can give you more so you can go off and do your own thing in other areas. So I think it was just around like fall camp was when it started clicking. But when you're playing with someone like Thayer Munford, probably one of the best offensive linemen in like the country, almost everything looks easy because he makes things look easy, So I give him all props to him for how he's been playing. He's been having an amazing season, and him making the switch from left tackle to left guard was not an easy switch, but he made it look like it was.
Another quickie. When do you start watching video of the opponent? When do you start in a week? Were you watching it on the plane coming back from Indiana? Were you watching it Sunday? How much time do you guys put in that part of the preparation?
I mean, we put in so much time. I mean, we watch film almost every single day. We'll come in on Sundays. We'll watch the film of the game before, and then once we finish up watching all that film, we'll try to watch a little bit of the film of whatever team we have coming up. We'll always come in on Mondays as an O-line, whether in certain groups or in the ones and the twos, and we'll come in. We'll try to watch the film together just to learn different stuff. We're about to go watch film in a little while later, so we'll watch more film on Penn State. We'll do it on Wednesday. We'll do it on Thursday. We'll do it on Friday. Night games are amazing. I love night games because we get another opportunity for us to watch even more film right before the game starts. So we'll try to watch like 2 or 3 more sessions of film right before the game starts. So I actually appreciate having more time in like a night game because we get more opportunities at a bite at the apple for us to watch more film and to study our opponents.
And final questions, third row middle, Doug Maurice, Cleveland.com.
Nicholas, can I ask you about a specific play from Saturday, the first touchdown run for you guys? It looked like Micah McFadden, their linebacker, kind of read the play pretty well, and you just got him and steered him right out of the hole. Can you just take me through like your responsibilities on that play and how well you think you made that block?
What I could tell you is that me and Thayer had a combination with that block, and it was between us with that. I think it was like a 3 technique or a 4-eye up to McFadden, who was a linebacker. I saw him rolling across over the top because we went a little bit tempo, so he was kind of a little bit late to the play, but he's probably one of the best linebackers, not only in the Big Ten, but probably in the country in terms of reading plays, his aggressiveness, how hard he hits. So seeing him come across the top, I was able for me to get off the block, and I knew that he's one of the best players of the nation. Is either me or him, and someone's going to have to make a play. Luckily, I was able to get there in time, and I was able to make the play and kind of steer him out the way. So I think it was mine that was able to make the cut off my butt to get up and go untouched. So that's kind of how the play went. He's just probably one of the hardest hitting linebackers, probably one of the best linebackers in the country. And we watched a lot of film on him. He was one of our main keys and one of our main targets in terms of the game, in terms of making sure that we have to get this guy blocked because he'll make plays all across the field. So it was just a good play, not only by Thayer, but by everyone on the offensive line. We all made our blocks well, and it was just a great opportunity for us to get a touchdown there.
I was gonna follow up, that was like the best answer I've gotten in a year, so, that was awesome, thank you.